Welcome to Secrets and Strategies to help you on your survivalist run of total chaos. Many of these advanced tips also help in normal mode, so there's something here for everyone. And if you need a refresher of more of the basic strategies, check out my previous beginner's guide. Breakable walls. X marks the spot. Keep a heavy weapon on you like a pickaxe or sledgehammer to gain access to secret areas that have special weapons, rare supplies, new crafting recipes, and often a CTSM pill to increase your inventory weight limit. Starting in Chapter 3, they'll start to appear, and you might even find some in the dark. Hunger exploits. Any food item that says reduces hunger, like an apple or sandwich, will actually reduce 1.4 bars, and that's a lot. Anything that says it reduces 1 bar will actually reduce anything under 2 bars, so you can get that second hunger bar pretty high and still knock it all out with just one food item. The same applies to bleed. Bandages will cure 2 bars of bleed, but you can get that up to just under 3 bars and still knock it out with 1 bandage. Playing like this really adds up over time. If you consume a food item, you'll be given a grace period to dash and attack without adding to your hunger meter, but if you use something with a direct negative hunger effect, it will still count. The Flaming Spear. Spears are excellent weapons, fast attacking and impaling on throw. But what makes the scrap spear super good is that it combines with a rag, and you can light it on fire. That means you can throw alcohol at enemies and light them up. It's a great way to take down splinters. Stay safe by throwing the spear at them from a distance. It'll extinguish and you can pick it up when they die. When using it at stabbing range, switch away from it to put the fire out and save the durability. You can make the scrap spear by combining a pole, metal shard, and a box of nails. OP crafting. So you're finding cool recipes the longer you play for more elaborate and powerful weapons. But if you already know how to make them, you can make them early. Excellent early crafting options are Snip and Smash, brick plus scissors plus tape, a reusable medium damaging throwable that stuns. The Splitter, pipe plus scissors plus metal shard plus tape, a medium damaging mid-weight weapon impaling on throw, I think after the next update. Essentially a stronger version of the pickaxe. The Barbed Butcher Wrench, wrench plus barbed wire plus broken butcher knife. A fast-swiping, medium-damage weapon that can absolutely bully a splinter whose mouth is clogged by a pickaxe. Triple Compounds. Combining 2 compounds with a syringe gives you a buff with a debuff, but special 3 compound mixtures will give huge buffs with no negative side effects. Blue-blue-red is a long stamina boost similar to taking steroids. Green-green-red is a full 6-bar heal. And red-red-green may be the best in the game, knocking out all hunger effects for a long time. You can dash around, swing melee, and just never get hungry. This combines very well with energy drinks or anything that grants a stamina boost. You're just unstoppable like this. By the way, when you're in a state of blocking hunger like this, you can use anything with a negative hunger effect with no consequence, like Stimpaks, energy drinks, and steroids. Steam pipes and clingers. In the first encounter with the clingers in Chapter 5, yes, you do have to crouch under them to pass, but in many hallways you can stand and move at a brisk pace. Just crouch when they're near, and crouch under any air vents that blow out the lighters. Watch out for steam pipes that also blow out your lighter, mostly at crouching level. If you move patiently, you'll be able to see the pipes start to shake just before they blow. We got this added to the game just before launch because boy was it frustrating. Nobody likes to get randomly blown. Early gas cooker. There's a gas cooker in Chapter 2 through the spider room. Go down the hole, take a left, and go down into the corridors. You'll find a board against a wall. Break it and you'll get the gas cooker to purify rotten meat and monster meat, making them great sources of food, boost, and sometimes healing. You can use the gas cooker to cook salami, canned meat, tuna, turning these food items into higher sources of health and making them cure 2 bars of hunger instead of 1. Early shotgun and pistol. In Chapter 2, enter the graveyard to grab the pistol at the end. It's by a candlelit grave on the upper level. There's a lot of goodies in the graveyard if you dare to explore and find them. Pop an energy drink for stamina boost so you can dash more and evade the invisible monster. For the shotgun, go down the hole into the spider room and follow the trail around the X's on the map. The X's are the spiders waiting for you. Make your way to the lever and backtrack to the metal door you passed on the way. There you'll find Miller's key. You can backtrack immediately to the Jared Miller door back at the beginning of the level, or swing back after you get the blue block key before you use it to exit. If you're playing on Survivalist, you'll also need the shotgun pump. In Chapter 3, after you finish the hide-and-seek section in the dark and get the submachine gun, do not ground yourself by touching the save station. Instead, continue to explore the level in Madness. Multiple areas of the map will change to reveal secrets, but the important one is the Starry Night Hotel. Wait enough time and the door will shift into a Madness zone containing the shotgun pump. Now you can make the shotgun at the crafting table. Charge attack on boxes. Every melee hit consumes the same amount of stamina, light or heavy. That means you can do a fully charged heavy attack and break multiple boxes in one swing, saving massively on the durability of your weapon. Just one hit compared to 9 or 10. Pull out a pickaxe or whatever isn't your main weapon at the time and use that to break. The spawn rate of resources on Survivalist is a third of the normal rate, so it's important to target these big groups to find something, especially because your weapon decays at a higher rate. And Survivalist does not adapt to your needs the way normal does, so search and search well. Stamina control. Your stamina bar recovers slower if you're trying to charge after a heavy attack. This is to prevent certain moments of stun locking. So after you use a charge attack or deplete your stamina for whatever reason, wait half a second before you start charging again. That will actually give you a faster charge instead of waiting for the slow stamina bar to catch up. And here's something cool, since throwables don't use stamina, you can charge up a heavy attack, throw something, and then swing your charge attack or continue charging where you left off. This will destroy enemies combined with the snip and smash. Those heavy attacks are great openers in combat because they grant stun. Sledgehammers, spears, axes can hit multiple enemies with devastating results. The correct fast-attacking weapons can stun-lock enemies, making quick work of dangerous threats like the glares. Pop an energy drink and just go in swinging, there's nothing they can do about it. SMG versus pistol. The pistol, and especially the revolver, are your most powerful long-range weapons, but a single shot from the SMG will break chains. Use it in the Chapter 5 Madness section where you find the revolver to save on revolver bullets. And to break secret chains hanging above you, you'll find them sprinkled throughout the game. You should also use the SMG to kill the invisible exploding enemies, just a couple taps and they explode. Or use a rock because it can be used multiple times. Fuses and bolt cutters. In Chapter 3, you'll eventually have 3 fuses that you use to open an exit, but you can actually head back in and grab the fuses again. They unlock several secret areas in later levels, including one that's necessary to achieve the good ending. They combine with the Chapter 4 bolt cutters. If you look at the bolt cutters, you'll see a number in the corner. This is how many uses remain. You have to use a few of them to progress, but after that it's up to you. I personally recommend saving the last 2 uses for Chapter 5, opening this door here for a flood of SMG and shotgun ammo, and then behind this breakable wall after the elevator ride. There's another chain door behind it and a fuse slot. Here you can get a knife spear and a barbed rebar axe that just absolutely wrecks. Secret targets. In Resident Evil 4 Secret Style, several levels have these little compasses that can be shot. Find all 4 and you'll unlock areas with valuable pickups. Chapter 4 gives you a broken butcher knife, which is a powerful crafting option. Chapter 5 in the open town area opens a door to a weight skeleton that increases your max weight by 15 kilos. Absolutely crucial, do not miss this. If you do, you'll need to use the fuses and bolt cutters early in Chapter 6 to get one. Save management. Since your saves are limited, you need to be able to play through the first chapter and a half without saving. Save in Chapter 2 before you get to the graveyard and before you tackle the widow section. Save in Chapter 3 before tackling the hide-and-seek fight in the dark. Beyond that, save at your own discretion. Explore to find more records and use wood glue to bind record halves together. Do not use tape. Tape is far too rare and useful of a resource to use on records. Harpoon. The Harpoon is great. It stuns light enemies, setting up melee combos, and works great in a 2-hit combo against dogs. Harpoon plus any throwable will kill a dog guaranteed. Harpoon, rock. Harpoon, rock. Since rocks are reusable like the harpoons, you can just loop this. But the best use of a harpoon is against the miner. Shoot him in the face for a stun state, target the tank on his back to ignite it, and he'll blow up. If he throws it at you, just make sure you have a large enough weapon in your hand to parry and reflect that thing right back at him. Enemy weaknesses. You can knock the miner's helmet off with a throwable, which will open him up to damage more easily, and then you can target his tank in the stun state. And like the miner, several enemies have special tactics to dispose of them. Drifters and alcohol, or a single revolver round, and splinters are partially disabled by throwing certain weapons into their mouths, like a pickaxe, and can be fully stunned by throwing a bottle, brick, or rock into their mouth. You don't even have to do it yourself. Zombies will throw bottles at you, which will trigger a splinter stun state. Try not to use rocks against splinters because they will swallow them and you won't get them back. And only use alcohol if you're going to set up a burn. Smart alcohol consumption. Yes, this is under the mayo giving advice on alcohol consumption. Putting the absurdity of that aside, there are some really effective ways to inflict burn on some of the most damaging enemies. Keep in mind that any enemy that burns will die eventually because fire doesn't go out. We already covered how to use the scrap spear ragged, close and at a distance, but several tough enemies are placed a few feet away from a burning trash can, and you don't have to wait for them to be close to use the alcohol. Watch me throw a bottle into a splinter's mouth while I fight the enemies around him. His stun state wears off, he walks by the fire, ignites, and now I just leave him to die. In Chapter 6, this combat room has a miner at the back. I blast a couple zombies to get close to him quickly, splash him with alcohol, and now when he comes at me, he'll ignite himself. Drifters, those electric ghost things, will ignite instantly from alcohol. It's a rare resource on Survivalist, but if you're good enough at avoiding damage and managing bleed, you can use alcohol to strategically take out the big guys instead of making bandages. The revolver. It's in Chapter 5 on the wall in the area where you trigger madness through medication. It is possible to exit this area without getting the revolver, but don't you dare do it. Not having the revolver puts you at a serious disadvantage later on. You'll have to go through a big optional part of the level if you pick it up, but it's worth it. Final chapter. When you're working through the enemy gauntlet, it's easy to find yourself with absolutely no ammo. So when you kill the miners, pick up their weapons. Yeah, they're close to breaking, but you can get several good hits with them, especially since you'll find duplicates. Bind the axe and the pickaxe to your hotbar, and use these weapons to take out individual enemies or groups of two. Save the bullets for when you really need them, and make sure you use the explosives in the first combat room. And finally, the empty library. Once you enter Madness in Chapter 5, you can stay in Madness for the rest of the level, finding tons of secret areas. If you do that, you'll have to play very well so you don't die, because you'll be sent all the way back to your last save. But hey, if you can make it, all the library gates will open automatically, leading you to every puzzle solution without having to see the monster once. So what are your tips for Survivalist? Leave them in the comments below. There are a few tricks I didn't list here because they're actually oversights that I already know are on the list to fix. I'm not trying to help you break things here, and I don't want to give you advice for something that's going to be removed. Thanks a lot for watching, hope you're having a good time with the game.